I am starting a new series to help you understand where your food and other consumables are coming from. I have been thinking about this topic for a while as we experience massive shortage of everyday products like bread to baby formula to toilet paper. The last 2 years. In the interconnected world, our food could travel hundreds of thousands of kilometers to reach us. When Russia-Ukraine war started, I prepared for not being able to find my favorite cereal in the store shelf. Ukraine supplied 40% of the world supply of wheat and 20% of corn. We need that for cereal. Last year when Mexico and California had one of the worst droughts, I got extra bottles of ketchup, pasta sauce and sriracha. I know these regions grow lots of chilies and tomatoes and I expected some kind of shortage in the following year. I need my sriracha and ketchup. I love them. So watch this new video series and be informed where your food and other consumables are coming from. It is only fair to start this video series with the most consumed food in the world, rice. It is hard to overstate the importance of rice in the world. It is a staple food for over half of the global population. In fact, rice is the everyday food in much of Asia, Latin America, Africa, and the Caribbean. I was born and raised in Sri Lanka. Growing up, we had rice for lunch every single day. Dinner and breakfast may include key ingredient as a rice flour. That's a lot of rice. I still love rice, but eat much less. Let us look at who produced the most rice that we consume. As of 2022, all top 10 rice producing countries are in Asia. China and India produce more than half of the rice we consume. Rice is a primary crop in many Southeast Asian countries. More than 80% of the rice is harvested in the top 10 countries. Those are China, India, Bangladesh, Indonesia, Vietnam, Thailand, Myanmar, Philippines, Pakistan, and Japan. But Brazil takes the 11th place and the United States take the 12th place. This graph shows clearly how much rice is produced by China and India alone. Almost 280 million metric tons of rice. Now that we know who produces the rice, let's look at who exports the most rice or sell the rice to other nations. You may be surprised, even though China is the number one producer of rice, India is the largest exporter. China takes the 6th place in the exporter list. India is by far the biggest exporter of rice, followed by Vietnam, Thailand, Pakistan, United States of America, China, Myanmar, Cambodia, Brazil, and Uruguay. So if you look at the graph, it shows clearly India exports 3 times more than the second biggest exporter. So now, who imports the most amount of rice? Even though China is the top producer, China is also the top importer. Next, Philippines, Nigeria, European Union, Cote d'Ivoire, Saudi Arabia, Nepal, Iraq, Malaysia, and Senegal. In this graph, you can see China imports 4.6 million metric tons of rice. It's almost double the size of Philippines, the next largest importer. So the last piece of the rice puzzle is who consumes the rice? Who consumes the most amount of rice? China takes the top spot. I don't think you are not surprised by it because it's the biggest producer as well as the top importer, right? Followed by India, Vietnam, Bangladesh, Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, Myanmar, Japan, and Brazil. If you look at the graph, it clearly shows that China consumes 155 million metric tons of rice, whereas India is, even though the population is slightly all over, the consumption is only 2/3. and Vietnam is 73 million metric tons, and after that it goes really down. As the biggest exporter, India exports rice to more than 150 countries and account for almost 50% of the global rice trade. Most rice goes to Bangladesh, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq and Benin. As you can see, China doesn't buy lots of rice from India, but the next three exporters, Vietnam, Thailand and Pakistan, all send a good portion of the rice to China. That brings us to the fifth largest exporter, United States of America. Rice is not the top crop in United States. Nobody thinks about rice when they think about United States agriculture sector, right? I never think about it. But it grows in Arkansas Prairie, Mississippi Delta, Gulf Coast and Sacramento Valley in California. Total production is only about 13 million metric tons and account for less than 2% of the global rice production. America also imports 1 million metric ton rice from Thailand, India, Pakistan and other Asian countries and Brazil. As the fifth largest exporter, United States export rice to Mexico, Central American countries, Haiti, Japan and Canada. So it's a key player in the North American, South American area, right? If you are like me wondering why in the world Japan import rice from United States of America, the distance alone is a killer, right? The reason is apparently Japanese like the Calrose variety that's grown in California. That rice is better suited for bowl dishes in Japan, like when you pour the sauce in, it apparently absorbs the sauce much better than the sushi type of rice. So that's the reason they like it. If you are Japanese or if you know anything about Japanese cuisine, I'd love to know, is the Calrose rice is better than say basmati rice from India or jasmine rice from China? I'm kind of curious about this. So before we end this video, we look at the countries who consume the most amount of rice. But let's look at the consumption by maybe continents. Europe, for an example, eat much less rice than any other continent. Average European eat about 6 kilogram rice per year. American eat double the amount, 12 kilograms per year, but Hawaiians eat 45 kilograms per year. That's a lot in America, but you understand they are part of Oceanian culture and cuisine, right? So they eat more. Second, Australians, they eat 16 kilograms yearly. Africans 60 kilograms. South American rice consumption varies vastly because of immigration and the history. Guyanese and Surinamese consume about 100 kilograms rice, biggest consumers in South America, whereas the other countries consume much less, as shown in the map. Guyanese eat the most amount of rice outside of Asia, but that can be explained because Guyanese population has a significant amount of Indian descent. I guess this comes with no surprise. Asians eat the most amount of rice at 136 kilograms per year. The global average is 54 kilograms per year. However, this includes Asia as well. Hope you like this video. What should I do next? Potato, beef, egg, cheese? Let me know. I would love to explore this with you. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself until we meet again.